had the pleasure of hosting the IPD SMT in India. And this year we are here in Uganda. What was the special consideration that led you to choose Uganda as the country program where we want to hold the IPD SMT meeting this year?
I think there's lots that is happening in Uganda. We keep hearing about this sector, the wash sector in Uganda that is so well coordinated. We keep hearing about the political will and commitment. We keep hearing about the quality of partners and partnerships. For example, CD as an NGO working on accountability and governance issues, or the National Water and Sewerage Corporation working as an urban utility, which is now respected all across the developing world. So we thought it would be really good for us to come to Uganda to see what's happening and how the country program is taking forward on these opportunities, but also understand better the challenges, because from the outside, it looks like everything is working well in Uganda as a wash sector, but this was an opportunity for us to understand in some depth what the key challenges are around equity and inclusion and sustainability and sector coordination and harmonization. So that's why I think I was quite keen to come to Uganda, and Lydia was very keen to host us after discussing with Alice. But I think that triggers a question in my mind in terms of what are your takeaways from Uganda, and what is it that struck you as being very distinctive from what's happening in the South Asian country programs?
Well, you actually sort of hinted at what I consider distinctive about Water Aid Uganda program. I must say, I was so impressed with the quality of their interaction with utility providers and service providers, the government ministries, and of a very high quality and substantive collaboration, partnership of an order which I can only dream of looking at the South Asia region. So that is certainly one takeaway. And how Water Aid country program here is providing both that essential support function, collaborating with the government, helping the government to achieve these huge targets, but at the same time also contributing to bringing the sector together. So I think Water Aid's role in the USNet, the network of WASH NGOs, has been hugely significant for the strides that this country has made. And as a result, as you mentioned in today's World Water Day speech, we look to Uganda as a model, as an example, as a leader in this area. So that's certainly something that I take away with me. I also take away with me the energy and the dynamism of the country team, and that was very striking. And so all in all, this week and the opportunity to interact with the Water Aid Uganda team, I consider has been a great privilege and hugely enriching.
That's very interesting. And that reminds me, in all the discussions that we had with the country program team and also the partners and in the community, I'm sure you picked out some key challenges. And those are the same challenges that our colleagues in Uganda are dealing with on a day-to-day basis. We have had the opportunity to come and look at it from an external perspective. Would you have any advice for colleagues in the Uganda country program on dealing with some of those challenges based on your experience of what's happening and working well in South Asia, or even otherwise?
I can certainly single out one or two, and one obviously is the reality of how successful this country, its government and agencies like Water Aid and others have been successful in really making WASH inclusive, WASH accessible to all. From our discussion and from what we are told, we were told that in cities like Kampala, with the Kampala City Authority, it has been of a very good standard. But we are also told that there are districts and regions in this country where similar service is not yet accessible, and that remains, I suppose, is a huge challenge for the country program. So the issue of really ensuring that this basic service of water and sanitation reaches not just a few communities or groups that happen to be in Kampala or that happen to be in a district town, but individuals and men and women, boys and girls living also in remote areas. I think that still remains an unfinished agenda, as in most parts of the world. The second area that comes to me is this big dilemma that we have with our teams working with local governments. On the one hand, we want to collaborate with them. On the one hand, we want to be supporting them. In other words, on the one hand, we want to be very supportive, respectful partners. On the other hand, we also realize that in most of our countries, there is also the issue of accountability, the issue of corruption, and oftentimes this also means challenging these very partners that we want to develop and promote excellent working relationships. So this balancing act, this how much to support, how much to challenge, how much to be a friend, but at the same time be a critical friend, a challenging friend. I think that is something that I share. I think the team here in this country will share with our teams in other parts of the world, including South Asia, where again this issue of accountability and governance and transparency are huge issues. So we certainly want to provide the government support, we want to work with them, we want to encourage them, but at the same time we are also to have the courage to say that when some things are not done the way that is truly empowering and truly inclusive, we also have the responsibility to challenge them. That I think is an important.
Thank you very much, Tom, and I'm sure colleagues in Uganda will really appreciate those insights. It's a fantastic country program, some great partnerships, some great pieces of work, and some excellent collaboration. And today at the World Water Day, I was also really impressed, and so were my colleagues, at the space and respect that WaterAid has in this country. Yes, there are challenges around equity, sustainability, financing, capacities of institutions to deliver, but I think in the reflection that we had as a senior management team, we really felt that given the competence and the passion and commitment of the Uganda country team, you can definitely look forward to a great contribution from WaterAid Uganda, some fantastic stories that are still going to come through, and a very well functioning, very well coordinated and a very effective sector. So thank you very much colleagues in WaterAid Uganda for your hospitality. It's been a fantastic learning experience for us, and I'm sure we'll come back to you at some point in time, and good luck with all your efforts.
And from my side, colleagues, WaterAid Uganda colleagues, one of the reflections this afternoon was that all of us are going back feeling so energized after a whole week here. Yes, it was a very heavy week, very hectic week, but one thing that has come, and everybody was so energized. So I hope that you will be very happy to hear that, you will be pleased to hear that, and you have all the reason to be proud that you have been able to have such a positive influence on the IPD SMT. So thank you very much.
And we are still going back laughing about all the jokes we heard at the indirect cultural center.